Hey guys, in this video, I'm trying to explain you what exactly EC2 and what are the EC2 instant types and pricing options and compute isolation and virtualization options available with EC2. So why EC2 is so popular? So when coming to traditional methods, so if you want to deliver any of the application, any of the website, you need to follow a lot of process and you need a physical infrastructure. So for example, let's take a quick scenario. So now, you have to deliver one application to one of the particular client. So that application required a couple of servers like DB server and web server. Basically, he need a couple of servers. Okay, so for this, he need a hardware, he need a physical infrastructure, he need networking component things, he need SAN or NAS in backend. Again, he need proper cooling system, he need uninterrupted power supply. So he need to take care about all these. And again, when coming to server purchase, and IT manager is going to take care about that. And so IT manager, he's going to sit along with his team and he's going to finalize the configuration by keeping coming 5 years or 10 years requirement in mind. And he's going to finalize the configuration. And again, he's not authorized person to purchase that. He's going to give that quotation to accounting department. So this accounting department, they are going to send that quotation to different organizations like Lenovo, IP, HPM. So they're going to send that quotation to many of the organizations. So when quotation come again, so they are going to call that executive, couple of meetings will happen. Finally, one quotation is going to finalize with a particular price. And so let us assume this IT manager finalize a quotation like 8 CPUs and 32 gigs of the RAM capacity and 2 TB hard disk capacity. So now this went to accounting department. Again, different quotation to different vendors. So then after finally, let us assume one vendor quoted less price. So we need to call that vendor, we need to have a couple of meetings and we need to finalize the configuration and you need to release the purchase order. Whenever you're releasing the purchase order, so that guy is going to tell you, so you need to pay 100% upfront. So that means you need to pay 100% amount along with the PO. So then only he's going to take that order and is going to deliver. Again, these servers is not going to deliver immediately. So basically, they are going to take 3 to 4 weeks duration to deliver that all the hardware. Okay, finally servers arrive after 3 to 4 weeks, and again you are not authorized to unpack that. So you need to raise a ticket. So next business day, that executive will come and is going to unpack. He's going to verify that server service tag and configurations and all, and he's going to mount it to server rack. Like you can take care about racking and stacking, and then again, directly you cannot make the server available for all the production users. So first you need to test it in UAT environment. So test this. So like for this is going to take couple of weeks. So then you can make this server available for all the production users. So you can move the server to production. So this entire process is taking approximately, you know, 8 to 10 weeks of the time, so approximately 2 months. So that is a huge time. And so due to some reasons, this IT manager, he have not analyzed this configuration correctly, or else suddenly you got a new project and you are recruiting 10,000 more members to the organization or 5,000 more members to the organization. The server, whatever the one you have selected is not sufficient. Again, you need to look for upgrade, or else you need to look for to purchase a new server. So basically, you need to look for vertical scaling or horizontal scaling. So vertical scaling means increasing the capacity of the existing server. Horizontal scaling means purchasing another server, like load balancing between those two. So again, you need to take care about these two. So like getting a new project, recruiting new members, it's a good thing, but assume that organization lost that project and they're able to shut down their organization in worst cases. So then what they're going to do with this hardware, they already spend a lot of amount to build this infrastructure. So they cannot do anything with these servers and all. So that's why many of the small and mid-range organizations, they are building their entire IT infrastructure in Amazon EC2. So in EC2, EC2 stands for basically it's a elastic compute cloud. So this computing resources, basically computing resource means we already know. So like it's a CPUs and it's a memory and it's a storage and networking components, applications and services. So these all are we are getting elastically from cloud. So Amazon is our cloud service provider. So we are getting all these computing capacities from EC2 service, and we have a flexibility. We can scale up and scale down based on our requirement. So you can provision a server. If the configuration is not sufficient, stop the server, change the configuration, run that immediately. So again, so you have provisioned a highly configured one and you are underutilized now. Immediately stop the EC2 instance, scale down the resources and run it. You really don't require hours and hours downtime. So we have a flexibility. We can increase the capacity and we can decrease the capacities at any point of time. And another advantage is pay as you go method. Whatever the resource you are using, you are going to get charged for that particular resources only. So if you need a server for 1 hour, can you go out and purchase a server hardware? So no, right? So but within an Amazon Web Services, you can launch a server in a different instance categories like on demand. So you can run it for an hour, even you can run it for 2 minutes or 3 minutes also. So then you can terminate that and you are going to get charged for that particular 1 hour. And another one, pay as you grow. So whenever your customer base is increasing, your revenue is increasing, and the infrastructure is increasing, so at that moment only you need to pay more to Amazon Web Services. So these two are the beautiful things from this cloud computing: pay as you go and pay as you grow. Okay, so now let's look into EC2 instance different pricing options. So this EC2, it's a web service. It provides resizable computing capacity in the cloud. So we can quickly scale up. We can scale capacities, either it may be scale up or scale down. So based on our computing requirements, we can. So we have different instant types to purchase from Amazon Web Services. The first one is on demand. So there is no commitment and you can pay for hour. And second one is spot, and third one is reserved instances. And even we have dedicated tenancies. So let's deep dive into each and every option. The first one is on demand EC2 instances. So here in on demand EC2 instance, so we really no need to sign any contract with Amazon Web Services. For example, you want to test your application with Amazon Web Services. You really don't have any clarity how many days you're going to use or what configuration you required for your application. At that moment, you can go and select an on-demand EC2 instance. Here, pay for the computing capacity per hour, or recently Amazon started per second billing also, you can select that. And whenever you want, you can terminate that. No longer time commitments or no upfront payments needed here with these on-demand instances. And users who prefer the low cost and flexibility of Amazon EC2 without any upfront payment or long-term commitment. As I mentioned, you really don't know how many hours you need that server and what capacity you need for your application. So this is a right instant type in that use case. So with the short-term or unpredictable work loads, we can use this. And if you want to test your application for the first time with Amazon Web Services, and this is the right platform. Why? Because we have different categories like computing optimized and memory optimized. So storage optimized, you really don't know what type is going to give best performance. So you can choose one, you can give a try. If you're not able to get good performance, not satisfied, so then switch to another. So when you got a clarity, when you decided like this is a right instant type for my application and all, so then you can go to this result instance. So here we need to sign a contract with Amazon Web Services for 1 year or 3 years. And I really don't know why Amazon not giving 2 years option. And here we need to select in what availability zone you required, what configuration you required, and till what time, like what duration for till 1 year or till 3 years you required. You need to select that option under reserved instances. So then Amazon is going to reserve that capacity for us, and we can get significant discount up to 75 percentage compared to on-demand instances. So the reason is you are reserving capacity, you are going to continue long term with Amazon Web Services. So obviously they are going to give discount for you. When coming to pricing option, we have three pricing options available here. The first one is full upfront. So you need to pay 100% at starting stage. So like then only we are going to get. Before purchasing, you need to pay all the amount. So then partial upfront. So when coming to partial upfront, so here we need to pay some amount now, like approximately from 30 to 50%, it varies. So 30 to 50% now we need to pay, and remaining we are going to get charged hourly basis. So remaining you can pay monthly basis. And the third one is it is a no upfront. So when coming to no upfront, here, so you really don't need to pay anything now, everything monthly basis. So that is a no upfront. For example, let's take a bike EMI as example. So you have all the money, so you can pay 50,000 or 60,000 and get your bike home. That is full upfront. Then, so you have only 20,000, but you want to purchase a bike, so you can pay the 20,000 as a down payment, and remaining amount you can pay monthly basis. That is a partial upfront. When coming to no upfront, zero down payment. So everything you are going to pay in monthly installments. And again, we have different resort instant types. So that is standard resort instance. So within the standard resort instance, we cannot change instance configuration for the duration. For example, you purchase one resort instance for 1 year under standard resort instance. So within the duration, if you try to increase the configuration, if you try to decrease the configuration, we cannot do that. If you need that flexibility, you can go with this convertible resort instance. We are going to get a flexibility, but Amazon is going to get charged us more compared to standard resort instance just because of they are giving that flexibility. And scheduled resort instance, so we can run our instances for scheduled durations, like Monday to Friday you can run, again Saturday and Sunday you can terminate, again from Monday to Friday you can run the instances. So that is a scheduled resort instances. So these three are the payment options for these resort instance types. Okay, so again, you can go with the multiple options like full upfront with the standard resort instance, or scheduled resort instance, partial upfront along with standard resort instance, or scheduled, or convertible resort instance. So based on your requirement, we can select that option. So that is a resort instance. And spot instances. So this is, here we are going to get up to 90% of the discount compared to on-demand pricing. But the thing is, we need to have a use case like flexible start and start times. Then only this is the best option to select spot. And so basically, we are going to bid our own price against Amazon's price. For example, one EC2 instance is there that is running with a price like per hour $1. So you need that capacity, but you are not okay to pay $1 for that particular configuration. If Amazon gives the same instance like 50 cents, you're okay to take that instance. So then you can go to spot category, you can bid against Amazon's on-demand pricing. So when the usage is less or price is decreased, or like when it is matched to your quoted one or less than your quoted one, automatically Amazon is going to provide an EC2 instance for us, and they are going to give that instance. So when price increases, Amazon is going to terminate that EC2 instance. So that's why when we have flexible start and start time, so this is the best platform. So applications that are only feasible at very low compute prices. So then you can go with very high configuration you require to test an application. So then you can go with this option. So you can save some money. And if you require urgent computing needs for large amount of additional capacity, so here Amazon is giving couple of options. One is Spot Advisor. Amazon will advise how much you can quote and all, and the pricing history. So by observing these two options, so you can get a conclusion, okay, so what is the trending price from last couple of weeks? So how much you can quote to get an EC2 instance? So, definitely you can quote and you can get that. Okay, so that is a spot instances. So here one important thing for certification exam is, if spot instance is terminated by Amazon EC2 when price increases, if AWS terminate our EC2 instance, we are not going to get charged for the partial hours. But price is not increased, you have done with your requirement and you have terminated that instance, so then we need to pay for complete bill. Let's take an example. You are running one server from 2 hours 35 minutes. So you got a server for 50 cents and suddenly price got increased after 2 hours and 35 minutes, and AWS terminated my instance. So then we are going to get charged only for 2 hours. So price is not increased and we terminated the instance. So then we are going to get charged for total duration. So 2 hours 35 minutes, or like based on instant type we have chosen. So we are going to get charged 3 hours or 2 hours 35 minutes. So that is a repeated certification question. Okay, the next one is dedicated host. So before understanding this dedicated host, I want to take you through one diagram, compute isolation. So now we are getting our EC2 instances. So the backend infrastructure is this. So here we are going to have the actual physical interfaces here. On top of that physical interface, we have a firewall. So this is going to managed by AWS. This is an AWS managed firewall, and here is the security groups. We are going to manage that security group. So each and every instance required a firewall solution. So in our coming videos, we have discussed about the security groups. So this is our managed firewall. This is Amazon managed firewall, and virtual interfaces that will be available by using a hypervisor called Xen hypervisor. Amazon uses highly customized Xen hypervisor. On top of that, we are going to get our EC2 instances. This is our EC2 instance. And each and every EC2 instance is isolated from another EC2 instance. So now, in this case, we are using shared module, shared resources module. Why? Because only one physical resource is using for customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, So that is a shared module. The underlying resource is sharing with multiple customers. When coming to dedicated, we are going to dedicated resources. So we can get a dedicated interface, dedicated host, or we can get a dedicated instance. So in both the cases, In both the cases, we are not going to share, or Amazon is not going to share this underlying resources with any other customers. So when you can go with this dedicated resource, and here dedicated host is nothing but a physical EC2 server dedicated for us, completely dedicated for us, and it can reduce us cost, like so each and every server is going to have port and licensing cost, and you know so for that type of licenses, if you want to apply that licenses and all, so this is the right platform. And if you want to have complete overview about how instances are placing and what are the licenses, what are the port numbers is open on the physical host and all. If you want to get that complete visualization, so you can go with dedicated host or dedicated instance option. So basically, dedicated hardware allocated to our AWS environment. So this is a EC2 compute isolation diagram or instance isolation diagram. So then we have a virtualization, couple of virtualization types, mainly two types available. So one is para-virtual and second one is HVM, hardware virtual machine. So the Amazon strongly recommend to go with this HVM. The reason is we are going to get faster access to the hardware and we can use hardware extensions quickly. So here, this is a HVM. We're going to have the hardware hypervisor and a virtual platform, and our VM directly can communicate with the physical resources through hypervisor. So quick access to the hardware. When coming to the PV, para-virtual, so here we need PVD, para-virtual drivers on VM on top of virtual platform. So it requires operating system modifications. So we cannot get direct access to the hardware. So it's going to be a bit slow, and only some instant types are supportable for this para-virtual. So this is all basic things about EC2 instances. So let us quickly log into EC2 dashboard and let's look into all the pricing options. Okay, here I'm logged into my AWS account. Now navigating to EC2. So whenever you are selecting this launch instance and when you are going with this option, you are able to launch an on-demand EC2 instances. And if you are looking for resort instance, select this option, purchase resort instance. So what exactly platform you required and the tenancy we have discussed. Do you need a dedicated tenancy or shared tenancy and offering class? So you are okay to go with convertible resort instance or standard resort instance, and what configuration you required, then term, 1 year term or 3 years term, and are you okay to pay full amount now or some amount now, remaining amount. So okay, I'm going to select any, click on search. So here for 12 months, no upfront. So here, this is all upfront for standard. So that means you need to pay $535 now for standard for 12 months. So when coming to convertible, as Amazon is giving that flexibility, they are charging a bit more, $615 for 12 months. So when coming to no upfront, so you really no need to pay anything. So you're going to get charged hourly basis here. And if it is a convertible, so $0.075 per hour. So then partial upfront. So now you need to pay $273 now, and effective hourly price is reducing to 0.031, and for usage of this we are going to get charged. And here for convertible resort instance. So based on, so like if you select dedicated, it support only some instant types. So like for 12 months, if you are okay to pay all amount, so like you can pay 588. So then unlimited quality available, how many you required, just simply add to the cart and you're going to get a dedicated hardware for this M4 extra large. That is a reserved instance. And spot request. So you can navigate to spot. You can request spot instance here, or else you can go to pricing history. And here you can select your required instance category. For example, I need C4 extra large. So here the on-demand price is this. So 0.2200 per hour. And if you observe from last 3 hours, this is the spot price. In episode 1B 0.0564. Here is on demand and here is a spot price. And it is stable from last 3 hours. So let's make this last 1 day. Again, it is stable from last 1 day, last 1 week. Okay, here slight decreased. Again, let's take last 1 month. So some ups and downs. So you can observe these values. So how much you want to quote? Okay, from last 1 week, the price is stable almost. So I can quote this price and I can get my EC2 instance. So to create this EC2 instance, we can create a fleet. Here, request spot instance. So again, select the configuration, what exactly AMI required, and what is the capacity required. Here select the configuration and what is the key pair you want to use, how much capacity you required. You can give all these options and you can get your EC2 instance. Or else whenever you are launching your EC2 instance, we have an option to select spot. So let's select this. I'm selecting T2 medium, and when I click on next, here purchasing option, if you want to purchase this under spot, you can select this. This is a current price for the selected instance, and how much you want to quote. You can quote that from what date to what date this is going to be valid, and do you want to repeat this request. So here, when the price is increased, what option you want to choose, terminate, stop, or hibernate. So this hibernate, it is available only for some instance categories. So for that hibernate, I made a video. So like for whatever the instances that stop hibernate is going to support, what is going to happen behind, please refer to that video. So this is a spot instance pricing option. And when coming to dedicated host, go here dedicated host and click on allocate a host, and what exactly configuration you required, in what availability zone you required, then what is the quantity you required. Simply click on allocate host. So that is going to cost us more. Don't do that. And the same thing, whenever we are launching an on-demand EC2 instance, we have an option to select the tenancy. So I'm selecting where is a general purpose. Okay, so I've selected one instance configuration, and here tenancy. So do you want to run under a shared tenancy, or you need a dedicated instance or dedicated host? So while selecting this also, while launching instance also, we can launch this with dedicated instance or dedicated host. So then you can launch that instance. So that is dedicated host or instance, dedicated tenancy basically. So these all are the instant types, and in our coming videos, I have explained how we can launch a Linux instance, how we can launch Windows instance. So go through all those videos, and good luck. Thank you.